I thought the mic was going to fall. Did you hear me all right?
I hear you.
You got me, okay.
The Wolo and the Cholo.
It's not the Wolo and the Cholos, it's the Wolo and the Cholo. Just one Cholo. Don't pluralize.
None of the essay.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Critical Thinking Podcast. I'm your host, Rick the Rizzo, along with my co-host,
Shawn, the Irishman, and our other co-host,
The Mig1. And for you humans, Magellus Majesticus.
And this is a critical look at all things TV, movies, video games,
And upcoming creators.
I can buy up the mall cause I got hella bang, bang. I can ball every day cause I got hella bang, bang. You got a window shop cause you got no bang, bang. And you can't get no pussy cause you got no bang.
episode 121, ladies and gentlemen, and it's me and the Rickster here. It's a RickandShawnisode. Just for you ladies.
another Introverts. Attack of the Introverts. In Cholos.
Cholos.
Got new words. We're the Introlos.
Now there's going to be something here involving us wearing hats now. Sombreros.
Oh, God. Sadly, Miguel's not with us today because he had some, I guess, dentist work or something, he said, and his mouth hurts. So, hey, it's nice and quiet.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, he didn't even Uber this weekend. He stayed with his, he just stayed with his family this time. And I did Ubering, but I went to a show. I mean, I had an interesting weekend. And, let me go ahead and, I guess this is our roundtable. I'll start with what I did this weekend. Friday, I went to a Joan Jett tribute band, which was a friend of mine. We've all heard her on the podcast. It was the Red Iris. It's Emily. She also does the Joan Iris, the Joan Hearts. Excuse me, that's what they're called, the Joan Hearts. And it's a Joan Jett tribute band. It was a pretty good show. It was them, and then the band that came after them was it was Green for a Day because they were a Green Day tribute band, and they did really well too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and their set was long.
Really?
Joan Iris, they did theirs for about an hour. They got all the songs, and she sounds, great when she sings and everything like that. She does sound like Joan Jett and everything. So everybody's like, hey, we're all cool and everything like that. And then they came in, Green came in, and I'm talking every hit they played.
Oh, wow.
It was like, ding, ding, ding. And I was like, man, I got to the point where I was like, are they almost done? I was like, man, another one. Another one. I was like, don't get me wrong. It was good. But like I said, it was getting kind of late that time.
Right.
And I've been up since whatever, and so I was like, okay, fine. Once that was over, went home, whatever. Saturday comes, wake up late, do what I could. Ends up taking I take the dogs out before I leave at 5. Well, it was like 3:30. I said, I like to take a nap before, like if I'm going to go Uber and I know I'm going to be late, I take a nap. So I sit in my nice comfy chair that I'm in right here, raise my legs up, look at 3:30, I said, 30-minute nap. Woke up at 5:40. I was like, holy shit. I was like, damn. So I went on ahead and I took the dogs out, and then I took off to go see what I did before I Ubered. Went to go see my friend my friend Gene I work with him also, and he has a band called Boys Don't Cry, which is the Cure tribute band. And he put on full makeup. Shawn saw the pictures. He's all full makeup like Robert Smith with the face paint, the wig, lipsticks, the dark eyes.
He looked the part.
Yeah. And he even faked the British accent, got it out there. He sang just like Robert Smith. So it's really good. I mean, he got the crowd going and everything. It was a good night. I was like, wow. The next band that came up was a Billy Idol tribute band, but I was, me, I got to go make some money.
Gotta make that money.
So I didn't stay for that one. I had left and went to go do some Ubering, which I did have some good rides. I picked up, right away, one couple, picked them up, took them over, it was just here and there. All of a sudden, I got to...
Ain't for me.
They know the Cholo and the Wolo are here.
Like, oh, shit.
Well, anyways, so we went on ahead and when I got to Kirby and Kepler, there's a restaurant there. I pick up this couple and they were like, oh, and I usually play the 80s, 90s, and late 70s music. That's the radio station called The Spot that's over here in Houston. The moment they got in the car, it was like instant hits from there. They were doing Journey, they did Bruce Springsteen, they did the song from Risky Business, they did Bad to the Bone. It was just on and on and on. And like the first song that came on, they said, oh, it was Eye of the Tiger, the first song that was on. Right as she gets in, it was Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. And she goes, oh my God, this is some good music. I said, thank you. So she gets in the car and everything, and all of a sudden she's just singing. She's just going, we're going and we're driving. And I realized this is a 30-minute trip. I was like, damn, where the hell are they taking me? And so we're heading off. I go down 59, I turn down 610, get to Post Oak. Ends up, I'm going to Sienna Plantation, which is in Missouri City, backside of Missouri City.
Oh, dang.
So we're sitting there and they're singing. She's singing like the one song, and the next song she's singing. We're about halfway there, and then all of a sudden this Journey song comes on, and the guy, he starts, oh, I love this song. He starts singing, but then he stops, and he goes, hey, can you turn the radio up? I said, yeah, I'll turn the radio up. So I turned the radio up. I said, a little bit more? Is that fine? He goes, just a little bit more. So I turn up just a little bit more, and I can still hear him sing because I got good hearing still. So I was like, oh, I can hear him singing, but I know why he turned it up. You know, it's like he turned up loud enough where he can't hear himself sing, but he wants to sing the song. I was like, oh, because that's where we're going. We left it that loud the whole way because they had all good songs, and we got to their house and everything. And I turned on the radio when we got to their house, and I was like, you have me turn it up so you don't hear yourself. He was all like, yeah. I said, I love the songs that came on afterwards. I didn't want to hear myself sing. I didn't want to kill it. So that was hilarious. There it kind of slowed down. I got a couple of rides here and there, and I had to the surge was huge. Like it was getting close to like 2:00 at that point.
Gotcha.
And the surge was huge around the Kirby area where I picked them up from. But I had picked up a couple of people up in Missouri City, but then I picked up over in Sugar Land and Stafford, and I went all the way to on the other side of. It was still Missouri City, but it was Buffalo Speedway area. So I was all like, well, shit, and the surge is already starting for all the clubs. And I was like, well, the fastest one I can get to is the one off of Kirby and the San Felipe area. So I was like, fuck it. I went down Buffalo Speedway, got to Buffalo Speedway in Maine, and I said, I'm going to go down to Maine, get to Kirby, and then shoot Kirby straight to that area. When I went down Maine, there's a club or a bar that's like right there in the shopping center. And I'm talking, it was packed as hell. And what was weird is that it was packed as hell, and there was like so many fucking cars there. I turned on the Main, and Main's come was empty, and I'm all like, this is kind of odd driving down Main and hardly anybody here. But I said, well, there's no game at Reliant or anything because Reliant's right there. Well, I started noticing on both sides of the road that everybody's parking at the restaurants, at the hotel entrances, whatever, and their cars are facing towards the street. Uh-oh. Like it's a parade or something going to happen.
Okay. And
I'm all driving, I was like, who the hell's at that bar? And I'm sitting there and all like, when I go down, everyone's like, they turn and look, and I'm just like, I literally sat there, drove, and I could see their heads turning, and I'm all, I'm waving like
he's doing the princess wave. Fuck.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? I couldn't help it. It was like a moment that you could do that. I was
like, you gotta do it. you can't help it.
They all just kind of looked at me like, what the hell is this fool doing? But I don't know what was going on at their bar. I don't know. Maybe there was a celebrity there and their entourage was going to go down, and everybody's waiting to look at the entourage go down Main, but I didn't see who it was. So when I got to Kirby, I started heading down Kirby, and I'm talking hauling ass. And you really can't haul ass down Kirby because it's not a flat road.
Right.
It's yeah. Mary Turner, you got a lot of speed bumps to cover on that. So I'm heading down there, and I get close. I'm like, all right, I see the surge. I'm getting right to where it starts the blue, where maybe I can get it for $1 or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm getting there. Boom! It shrunk to like, oh my God. I was like, oh, that son of a bitch. It went from like, I think it was like $5 to $2.50. I was like, oh. And then I got pinged finally, and I picked up this one couple, and they kind of took me to another spot, and then I picked up this one guy in a rich neighborhood. where I got him from. I was like, damn, that's a rich ass neighborhood. He gets in the car, take him to a high class apartments that he was at.
Oh wow!
I dropped him off, and then the moment he got off the car, the map comes up, and I didn't realize it was already 2:30, which usually the surge goes down. But after hour bars and all like that, well, when the thing came up, all of a sudden it started raining, and then the thing went boom.
Oh wow!
I was at 975.
Damn.
At that point, I was like, "Holy shit!" That's the first thing when I saw the thing come, I was like, "Bing is all red." I was like, "Holy shit! It's 975, and I'm right here."
The rain is making it rain.
And I was about to pinch to see how big it was. Maybe there's a more higher price, and right as I'm about to pinch the map to check, all of a sudden I got pinged. I was like, well, at least I got pinged at 975. And I drove down Richmond. I picked up these two white guys. No offense, I'm not saying it, just to let you know. Two white guys.
White people.
Picked up these two guys. They're college guys. One just turned 20. It was his birthday that day. And then the other guy was the older one. So we're sitting there in the car, and I was like, 30-minute trip. I was like, son of a bitch. 30-minute trip.
It's my birthday.
That $20, that could have been like maybe $15, $20 trip, turned out to be a $50 trip.
Damn.
Because I went all the way to Cinco Ranch.
Wow.
So
Cinco boys, huh?
So I was driving out that way. I took the West Park Tollway, got them all the way over there. I was like, y'all, my last ride. I just turned off and went home after that. 'Cause I took back roads to get home.
Shout out to Cinco Ranch.
I was like, cool. But the whole time they're talking, the guy has the young 20-year-old. He has he's been, I guess, a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's always did what his parents say.
Straight laced,
everything like that. Now he's in college. He's more like, okay, he's gonna
be a little more wild. Yeah. Okay.
And the guys, the one behind him was kind of like mentoring him to be like, yeah, you need to go get man, you gotta drop that V card. He kept telling him. Because he's a virgin. He's like, yeah, he's got to drop that V card. So the whole time they're talking, and he goes, yeah, there's a girl that he's a study partner with. And he goes, oh, she's beautiful. And so I was like, oh, really? And I'm all like, listen to him. The guy's like, yeah, am I mentoring right? I said, yeah. I said, I want to hear this story. So they're sitting there talking. He goes, yeah, she's beautiful, all this. And the guy goes, well, let me see a picture. And he shows the picture. He goes, oh, yeah, she is cute. But the way he's talking, and I'm all like, I was like, I was like, sounds like you're falling in love.
Oh.
And I was sitting there and I'm like, you're 20 years old? It's like, no, calm down a little bit. And so he's all sitting there, the guy's like, yeah, he goes, man, don't you don't need to don't fall in love. Don't fall in love. Don't go out with a girl. I mean, go out with a girl, but don't, you don't want to be with her. You're 20 years old. You're too young right now and everything. Just focus on school. Get your stuff. When it comes to girls, he goes, hit it and quit it. And I started laughing. I was just like, yeah. He goes, am I doing it right? I said, I looked around, I turned it back, I said, you're 20, right? You just turned 20? He goes, yeah. I go, you're young. This is what's going to happen if you fall in love. And he looks at me and he goes, well, what's going to happen? If you fall in love with the first girl you have sex with.
Oh, shit.
The first girl you have sex with, and you fall in love with her, and then you're going to want to be with her, and there will be nobody else, you're going to be that. Later on in your relationship, you're going to get that going like, damn, I could hit that, and then you just been stuck with the one. Not saying that she was a bad one, but I'm saying that, your young mind's going to be like, fuck, I fucked up.
Well, and worse yet, I mean, it's like, more likely than not, at that age, you're not done developing. She's not done developing. And you're going to have this whole, like, being totally fixed on her and thinking she's the best thing in the world, idealizing her. And when she leaves you, then you're going to be a fucking mess for like a decade.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, your friend's right. I go, you're going to be experiencing a lot of one-night stands. I go, finish. That's all you're going to be doing. I go, finish your school. Get you a good job. I go, his parents taught him right. This is one thing about, I guess he would call him a millennial, or what do you call him now? I
guess if he's just turned 20, he would probably be a Gen Z.
Gen Z? Yeah, I was like sitting there. I was like, being as he's young, I was kind of happy his parents made him learn to earn his way up and everything like that. Because he was like, he wants to get his schooling down. He wants to do this. And I told him, like, you need to prioritize what you want to do. Because he was talking about soccer and everything. I was like, one is your school. That's your one thing. Two, if you want to keep your soccer, you got to find a way to work that around.
Right.
And I go, 3 is girls, but sometimes soccer might jump behind girls. But it might happen that way, but, hey, have fun. And I go, just get as much as you can, everything. Once you get your job and you're settled and you're ready, then go. All right.
I mean, because that's like your biggest weakness as being inexperienced and being a virgin and all that shit is you're gullible and you get so idealized about something and you think that it's going to be like everything, and it's like, guess what, motherfucker? She's probably already been with 3 or 4 other guys at least. Yeah. And you're not big shit to her. You're nothing. Plus, girls just have an emotional advantage where they can get over guys really quickly. They can get over things. They'll be really upset. But how many girls kill themselves over a guy as compared to guys who kill themselves over girls? Yeah. Nah, motherfucker, you're at the disadvantage. Just don't do it.
So he understood everything. The guy's like, yeah. He goes, hey, you're a cool guy. We got that. He also gave me a good tip on the.
Oh, cool.
Later.
Hey, there you go.
So it was good. That was like a cool ride that we had on the way home. I was like, all right, cool. Other than that, Sunday was a lazy day. Ran around, did whatever here and that. And then other than that was my weekend.
Nice.
And like I said, Miguel didn't go out do anything because I didn't talk to him at all. I mean, I had an extra ticket for the Boys Are Crying. I was going to see if he wanted to go, but he didn't go. So what about you, Shawn? How was yours?
Well, I had a pretty good weekend. I actually went up to Crockett, Texas. Crocky. No, Crockett, not Croaky. No crocodile hunter on this one. More like, friggin', what was it, like raccoon cap kind of bullshit.
So you went out all totally country.
Yeehaw. But it was cool. It was cool. It's a really nice little town. It started raining. And so I think that kind of kept away a lot of people from out of town from coming to their they had a music and arts festival there. They had a couple different bands. They had one that was like a tribute band to I can't fucking think of her. A Selena tribute band. Okay. So it was really cool. She was, kind of that, I can't fucking remember the name of it, but it's kind of like Calypso, where it's like sort of the island, Latin American kind of. So you almost have like some reggae vibes on the bass, but then it's really very Latin and Hispanic and the sound and everything. And then there was, so I went up there and I was hanging out with my friend Brandy. And my sister was going to go, but then her boyfriend ended up having a job, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to be a third wheel." And I was like, "What are you talking about, a third wheel? Like, come on, this is not. It's not like we're boyfriend or girlfriend or something. Like, he ain't gonna be a third wheel." She's like, "I don't want to." I was like, "Well, shit, I pretty much like promised like I was going to go up there." So I was like, "Well, goddamn, what am I gonna do then?" And so she's like, "Well, I'll go ask my other sister Kelsey, see if she'll let you drive her car." And I was like, "Man, she ain't gonna let me drive her car. What are you talking about? It ain't gonna happen." And she asked Kelsey, and Kelsey, well, yeah, sure. And I was like, "What?" Like, you're kidding me. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm driving my ass up to Crockett, Texas then. So I get up there, and it started out kind of humid. It was kind of, and it was rainy-ish, and at first it was just kind of sprinkling. I was just like, man, I hope it doesn't really rain. It did really rain, but not very long. And but then the wind came, and it got so freaking cold, dude. It's like literally just earlier when that Selena tribute was up there, I was just doing some salsa dancing with Brandy. We're just having a good time, just dancing out there on the square. Not a whole lot of people around, just having a good time.
Salsa dancing, Shawn?
Yeah, a little bit. I got some skills. What was it? The fucking quote? I have a certain selective set of skills. But I was just sweating a little bit. Worked up a little bit of a sweat. Doing some salsa dancing. And next thing I know, I was fucking freezing. I was so cold. I was like, what the hell? So we walked back to where our car was, and we had parked. I parked where the Family Dollar was, or no, Dollar General actually. And we go in there, I'm like, well, let's get some fucking, warm clothes because we're going to die out here, Like, I'm in a T-shirt. I had thought, well, I wonder if I'm dressed too warm. Maybe I should have took shorts. And then it gets this damn cold. And I was like, oh, hell no. So we go in there. It's like, oh, good. They got a discount going on long sleeve shirts and shit. So get one for like $3.50. Get pulled over like, some kind of 90s-esque sort of like, what are you fucking flannel kind of shirt. Yeah. Pull that over. And she has to get like this pink hoodie, pink and black and white hoodie. She's like, oh, man, it's pink. I was like, well, it's what you got to go with. I mean, that's what you got here. But, yeah, so after that, we went out there and, a band that she knows that she's done some jamming with them back and forth. They went up, they showed up, and they're actually really fucking good. Like cool. they pulled all kinds of classic rock and some blues stuff from like ZZ Top to like the Beatles to all kinds of shit. And these guys are good. Like I was like, holy shit, how are these guys not already big? And they pulled some of their own stuff too, but some of their own songs. So shout out to Wishbone Hayes. Really good band. Like I was cold. I was so cold even with that on that I was like my whole body was literally I'm like I'm fucking cold. And we're sitting just in these chairs in front of the stage and I'm just like shivering my entire body. My entire body is like locking up and shivers. Cause I just got used to the warmth. Yeah. I wasn't even trying to. Like I was even like staying in the house like, oh, I don't want to get used to this warmth and then it gets cold again. But I got used to the warm. And it gets cold. So I was like, what the fuck? But I'm out here, but they started playing, and I was just like, you know what? Even though I'm dying here, I mean, this is worth it, because they're just jamming, man. Like, the guitarist, the bassist even, the drummer, like, the whole lot of them just really talented. Talented guys.
What type of music was it?
Classic rock and blues.
Oh, okay.
And so, just all kinds of stuff from like, I said, ZZ Top and...
so there was multiple types of songs.
Yeah, multiple types. And they had some of their own stuff too. Like all these guys were like, inspired by the classic rock bands. Like the one dude, their lead singer and like kind of lead guitarist, can't remember his name right now, but he actually, when he was 12 years old, he actually was at a Beatles concert that he was forced to go to because his dad sent him to make sure that his sister didn't get up to any trouble. So it's his big sister, and he's like, oh man, I don't want to go there. But he had to go anyway, and he's like, after he left that, he was like, dude, like music, he was totally turned on. From that point, he became a drummer. Yeah. And ended up like, doing other stuff later on, so now he's like the lead singer and the lead guitarist of Wishbone Hayes. But it's just like, all these guys are just totally stewed and soaked in the classic rock genre. Like their whole lives they've been surrounded with it, and they just have spent all this time together as musicians. So they're really freaking good. Like if they just got the right kind of promotion and got out there to the right people, man, they could really go out there, because honestly, they're as good as any classic rock band I've ever heard, any of the big hits. So it was a good time. We had fun. I mean, we suffered together a little bit, so I think it brought us a little closer. So hey, shout out to Brandy. We had a good time. Fedora drummer had a good time up there. That was pretty much it for my weekend. Other than that, I was just pretty much recovering from freezing to death. But
that's one thing. Yeah, you're right. When that wind came in, me just Ubering was blowing me all over the fucking road.
It was intense, dude. Yeah. This is like winter part 7, like Freddy Krueger type shit. Like, what the hell?
And here it is. End of March, beginning of April, which is not supposed to be like that, and it's cold.
It's so cold. It's cold. I've never seen this happen in Houston. Like, what?
And I don't even know if it's going to keep continuing, because I know it's going to start getting warmer, but we're going to start raining again at the end of this week.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But like, other than that, it looked like you had a really good time.
Yeah, I definitely had a good time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I suffered, but hey, I suffered for the art.
You made it back home that night, or did you stay the night over there?
I made it back home the same night. Since it was just me, I was like, well, I got to get my sister's car back. So I was like, well, I got to drive back either way. I mean, I was fucking tired, don't get me wrong, because I got up at like 6:30 to be able to make it there on time to really be there for the whole festival and everything, which that's fucking early for me. For other people, that might not be that early, but I'm a night owl, I'm fucking up late at night. So I was up till like 2:30, getting up at 6:30, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. But I'm still driving back, and but it was totally worth it, because yeah, we had a blast. They're great guys, lots of good music, and the town of Crockett, really nice people, very, very nice people.
Cool. All right. How far is Crockett from here?
Crockett is, okay, so Huntsville is up about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic, north. And then a little bit northeast of Huntsville, about 45 minutes is Crockett.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far, really. You know, they're a bit out in the sticks, but, you know, again, like, really nice people. Like, you know, it's usually for towns that old and stuff, and, you know, where they aren't doing so hot economically, like they don't have a lot going on. It's usually kind of, you get that feeling like, okay, you know, this place is a little bit like, I don't know how safe it is. But there, it wasn't like that at all. Like, they were really just very friendly and open. Every person you talk to would just like smile at you and like tell you some history about the town and stuff. Really smart people. Like, they are not your stereotypical, like, people try to paint people as being, you know, kind of provincial and not very smart. And the reality is, like, these people were definitely well read and they were very friendly, very sweet people. So it was cool.
Cool. Well, as we're gonna move on with the show a little bit here, I'll go through entertainment news for us real quick in here in our discussion, and Miguel will probably come back on a little bit later.
We'll get him back from the grave.
Yeah, normally we're like, hey Miguel, how was your weekend? Crickets today. That's how it is. But it's nice and quiet. We actually can move along. Really, no. He's gonna get pissed if he hears that.
I know. How many times can we say it and make it a drinking game?
It's like Miguel's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get y'all back, guys. Get y'all back." Well, coming up with some entertainment news. It has been rumored that the Black Widow movie, that, you know, supposed to be a young version of Scarlett Johansson to come up to where she is. Mm-hmm. It has been rumored that Emma Watson is going to be playing a young Black Widow.
Really?
In the Black Widow movie.
Emma Watson, huh?
Yeah. Well,
interesting.
Either it's rumored that they're asking her or if she wants to play that. So this is going to be a totally different role that we've seen her play.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so I mean,
that's not stereotypical for Emma Watson at all.
No, not at all. Considering that she was Beauty Beast and some other, I forgot, Sunflower or whatever this other one she did. And
yeah,
she did Noah.
The one with Tom Hanks too. The what the fuck was that one called? You know, the conspiracy one.
Yeah, there's that one. So, like I said, with that was happening, I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. As I put it, what do you think about that, Shawn? I mean, like you said, it's not a stereotypical move.
I mean, that to me, I'm interested. Like, I was not interested in a Black Widow movie because it was like, what's the deal? Because, you know, it's like, okay, we've already had, like, Mockingjay kind of bullshit. You know, we've already had, like, that one that almost seemed to be riffing already off of Black Widow. It kind of seemed to be stealing his thunder.
Red Sparrow with...
Yeah, the Sparrow shit. And then, but this is like, okay, well, I'm interested to see what Emma Watson would do in this kind of role. So that actually kind of revives my interest a little bit, where if it was her, I would want to see it out of curiosity, just because I would want to see how she would pull off this role. So to me, that perks up my interest a little bit.
And how would she look with the red hair?
You know, that's a good question. But makeup, Hollywood is so good with their makeup, like... They could probably make it work just because the art of it.
Yeah. Another news, this is from Collider.com. Sony, remember the movie The Craft? Mm-hmm. The movie, the witches and everything?
Yeah.
Sony wants to reboot the movie.
Really?
Yeah, so they want to reboot the movie The Craft, and it's going to be directed by Zoe Lester-Jones. Is going to direct it, which I don't remember what he had done. But being that, I was like, I liked The Craft at the time. It was pretty good. As a reboot, I don't know. What do you think that's a good move by Sony?
Man,
or is it just they run out of ideas to do a movie and they just this blockbuster we had back then?
I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. These days we are at such a point where, like, on one side of things, there is like a definite push toward retros, a definite push towards like 80s, 90s, 70s, particularly the 80s and 90s, very retro, you know, a lot of things coming back, as especially like, you know, the millennials have gotten more into the late 20s and 30s. And so there's definitely a lot more interest in that. On the other side, it's like, how many can you do remakes of? How many can you do redos of before people are tired? Just like, what the fuck? Come up with some original ideas already, god damn it.
Exactly.
So with this one, I mean, I feel like maybe we're getting to the tipping point. Just like zombies, in my opinion, have kind of already gotten tired, and it's a played out concept. I think retros might be hitting the tipping point of being a played out concept for right now. So I wouldn't bet on that being too successful. At the same time, there is a revival of interest in pagan, like religion and things of that nature. So it could be a saving grace for them on that side. Yeah. But, this is a risky bet. This could go either way. I feel like this is either going to just kind of peter out and not be a big deal or have a cult following.
Yeah. All right, next. I don't know how everybody's going to feel about this, whatever, but Angelina Jolie is in talks with MCU for a part in the Eternals movie.
Oh, really?
She's going to be one of the Eternals.
Okay.
And apparently it looks like it is a go, and she's going to be part of it.
Interesting.
So we'll have Angelina Jolie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow. MCU, damn.
So we got another big player coming in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would be game for it because honestly, she is a good actress. She really is. You know, you can have your opinions of her personally and whatever, different roles that she has played, but she just is a good actress. Yeah. So, all the hoopla and all the different stuff aside, if she's given a role that really works for her, that she really, wants to get into, because that's the only thing that could be a downside would be, it's kind of like back to Will Smith as Deathstroke, like unless or Deadshot. If she's not really into the role all the way, and it's just kind of like, well, this is just I get to be a part of MCU, then that would kind of suck. But I don't think that would happen with Marvel Disney because they've done such a good job with casting, and they've really made sure like every actor is all the way into their role. So
and she does get into her role,
and she does. She absolutely does. I've not seen anything where it seemed like she half-assed it. So I think it would be great.
Yeah. And, that's how the MCU is going now that the whole the Disney Fox deal is already done with the bringing in the Eternals. It wasn't a successful comic, but this is where where Thanos comes from, hence why they want to bring in that. And then they're not done with the Skrulls from Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. They're not done with that. Kevin Feige did say there are evil Skrulls out there. In this one, it was more like they were refugees just trying to find another place to live. But he says, no, there are evil Skrulls out there, and they might tap on that as well.
Interesting. I definitely see them going more a galactic direction, especially since they brought the Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn back.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see them getting more bigger picture and outside of just Earth. So it makes sense.
Yeah. And I think James Gunn might be kind of the one to head all the space-based ones.
Okay.
As like, not as directing all of them, but saying, okay, look, this is how...
As like a creative input.
Because if you kind of read up on Jim, he is a big comic book person.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants to do.
Right. Well, that would be great, because that's what they need. They need a big picture architect, and that would be the way to make sure that ensure that the MCU continues to be something really worthwhile instead of petering out and becoming shit.
Yeah.
After this Infinity War arc is over.
Yeah. Because that's what the next arc is, because we need a new, and they're saying one of the Eternals bad guys is going to be the next big bad that they're all going to have to go together to fight.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think that's what it needs. Is it needs depth. Like you can't now start going shallow on this shit, because if you did that, that's how you would kill this. Like it's I am Groot.
My bad.
Like that's what would ruin this, is if they tried to go shallow now after things have been this in depth. You can't shallow it out.
No.
Like it's got to. If anything, there's got to be more breadth to it. There's got to be more diversity than what we've seen yet. So he would be the perfect one for that.
Yeah. All right. And next, this was big news. Favorite voice actor for the Joker,
Mark Hamill. He is voicing Chucky in Child's Play reboot. You're kidding me.
He is voicing Chucky.
Oh my god.
I was like, he had a little thing on it, and he goes, yes, because it was at WonderCon where he announced it that, he's the voice of Chucky. So we're going to have Mark Hamill kind of bring a sinister Chucky voice to the character.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. I would not be excited about a Child's Play reboot, but Mark Hamill playing it, oh my god. Like, I gotta see how he does it.
Yeah, like, he did fucking awesome with the Joker. Now let's see what's good with Chucky.
Oh man, I'm sure he would do unbelievable because he can just do such creative sinister. It's just insane.
And what I also didn't know is the History Channel series that they have called Nightfall by the Knights Templar that they're all doing. He's part of it.
Really?
I think he's in that. He's in that show. I think it was Nightfall. Yes, that's what's coming on now.
Oh yeah, you know what? I saw the headlines about that.
He had a clip, and he was like Mark Hamill. I was like, he's in that.
He was like a Templar mentor kind of role in that. Yeah.
So I was like, wow. I was like, I did not. That was a big surprise to me on that one.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. See how he's going to voice Chucky, and
definitely.
He's when he announced it at WonderCon and he had the little video of it, he's passionate about this. He's like, I'm gonna be Chucky. He's all like that. I was like, that's awesome. Also, I know it's been blasting all over Facebook and everything. So I figured we announce it on a Critical Thinking podcast here. Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves, they did a video announcement that they are getting back together to do Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music.
Oh my god.
It will be released in 2020.
Oh.
So you're going to have them. They're finding actors to play their daughters coming into the movie. So hopefully how this is going to be everybody. They're thanking the fans because the fans are the ones that wanted Bill and Ted 3 to come back.
Wow.
And that's what they said. They're thanking the fans, and here it is.
Man, I love that about these days that we're living in is like the crowdfunding thing and fans really having a voice that ends up resulting in like creation of whole new parts of the legacies that we're all really interested in. That's like the awesome thing about the days we live in. Like, because, back in the day, there's just, without social media, without the internet, there just really wasn't a lot of an outlet for people. So they just had to do like, little, what do they fucking call those things? Like the not concentration camps, but you know what I'm talking about. They had to do those focus groups and shit. And that was like the best they could do. But now it's like we all have a voice and people can come together and can say, hey, we want another sequel. And the producers and people out there will be like, okay, you know what? We hear you. And we'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah. And, we're all Keanu Reeves fans because John Wick and everything. And then it's fun to see him go back to that goofy character again. Because he's a very good actor. He will do it. He's been doing all these hero stuff. Let him come back to be his goofy self at that point right there. It'll be awesome to see this movie.
Oh, absolutely. He's got such a rich personality. He can play so many different roles. He's not limited at all.
I like the fact that he's a very humble person too.
Yeah, definitely. Humble. I mean, and he really practices what he preaches because like the roles and things that he plays, they tend to be things that really do align with his values and align with like the kind of person that he is, and he practices that stuff.
Yeah, and there was a video in there. He takes the subways. He doesn't flash his money around or anything like that. He's always
right
with the people.
Very down to earth.
Yeah, very down to earth kind of guy. Which, like I said, I hope this works out. I hope it goes great, and I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And in this bit of news, I heard. Now, this is speculation or it could be rumored. I can't put facts on it yet because I'm kind of geeking out about it.
Okay.
Now, we got Matt Reeves doing the Batman. Right. Which is going to be a detective movie.
Which I'm excited about that twist on it.
And it's going to be a younger Batman. So he's, it's got to be somebody kind of looks like Ben Affleck a little bit, everything. So it's be a younger Batman. Reason why Ben Affleck didn't do it because he said he couldn't be the director and be the perfect Batman to do it. And in his script, he didn't feel right. Even his own script, he didn't feel right about it. It's why they rewrote it. Matt Reeves did it this way.
Gotcha.
Which I totally accept with Ben Affleck. Plus, he went to rehab and all that mess. And then all of a sudden, now we hear he dropped.
Right.
And so, like you said, you're looking forward to seeing how they're going to do this Batman kind of... They said it might be like a noir, so it might be black and white.
Man.
I doubt it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty good...
Probably take the aesthetics of it anyway.
Of a noir, but it's going to be a good detective movie. To watch how Batman is going to be... detective that he is, the master detective that he is, that he's better than everybody else because, hey, it's Batman.
Right.
Well, what I'm geeking out about is, and like this is like rumored and speculation because I can't prove it because the article that I read it from, it doesn't feel right. Ben Affleck is still going to be Batman in Justice League 2.
Really?
That's what I was geeking out. I was like, they're going to keep him. I was like, he's going to come back. He's going to stay as Batman. Anything. I can't prove it. It was just read, and this is speculation. And so I'm hoping that it's true.
So it could be either like it's a leak or it's just rumor. But either way, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Because it'd be kind of funny having one Justice League and then going and seeing a different Batman. I like the fact if we go ahead and keep his version of the Batman because it's the broken down Bruce Wayne that just doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, kind of old man Bruce Wayne almost.
He still doesn't, even though this is going to kill a person, but he still just doesn't give a shit. He's going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, he's middle-aged Batman. Yeah. He's like a step away from the Bruce that's just like, all right, fuck it, and kill him.
So I'm geeking out about it. I'm hoping it's true that we do get Ben Affleck back as Batman in the Justice League 2 movie. Same thing with Henry Cavill. Even though they said he's out, Henry Cavill, he's still there. If the script comes out and everything, he still could be Superman, which, by all means, even Miguel says it, he is Superman.
Yeah, he did a great job. He really did.
So, like, he's still waiting for Man of Steel 2. He's open for any script or whatever, but he said if he likes the script good enough and everything and his scheduling goes right, he will be still. Because they were also thinking of making, which I don't know how they would do it, probably an alternate reality because of the multiverse with the Flash, because that's how the Flash movie was going to do. They were saying Michael B. Jordan might be Superman.
Huh.
That was rumored.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So I was all like, well, we're going to have a black Superman. It doesn't bother me, but it couldn't be our Superman here, so it had to be an alternate reality, and he got put in our reality, in our Earth.
Right.
He might be from a different Earth, but now he's on our
Earth 2 or Earth 3 or whatever. Right?
Yeah, so that's the only thing that's got to be, because everybody's like on Earth, like, well, when did Superman change color? But I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything, but that's, if they do keep the DCEU the way it is supposed to be, then
there needs to be some kind of continuum. Something has to make sense here.
Yeah. Other than that, that's all the news I have. That's pretty much a show for now because the show never called, so we'll have to get him back on another time.
Absolutely. But either way, this episode is sponsored by The True Showtime.
This is Rick the Rizzo and
Shawn the Irishman.
We out.
Well, you know what, guys? That's a hell of a show. If you really like Critical Thinking Podcast, then you need to make sure you follow everybody that's involved with this. So I'm going to give you a quick heads up on who our lovable sponsors are. We are brought to you by Tokyo Munchies, located in Tokyo, Japan. We also have Japan Ramen Box, which also is in the United States. No, I'm just joking. It's in Japan. And then, of course, our big-time sponsor, Tank's Paintball. Tank's Paintball, where you can go down there and shoot Shawn in the ass any freaking time you want to, and he can't do nothing but cry like a little bitch. Tank's Paintball, where you can shoot everyone in the ass, and it's perfectly legal out on Southwest Freeway, Richmond, Texas. But anyway, that's our sponsors. And if you really love listening to us, you can catch us everywhere. You can catch us on our radio stations, Beyond the Dawn Radio. You can catch us on WBLZ Media /Iconic Radio. You can catch us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and Anchor. We're everywhere, peeps.
Thank you for joining us, thinking shit through one podcast at a time.